Hello everyone, welcome to Techwiden. Today we are going to understand the auto scaling group. How does it work with the load balancer and how it creates a magic of elasticity with the real world. Let's imagine we are running an e-commerce website and we are gearing up for the massive holiday sale and traffic is about to skyrocket. But if our application can't handle this sudden huge traffic, so it will risk a downtime and frustrated customer, right? This is where our auto scaling group comes to the rescue. It ensures we always have just the right number of instances running to handle the load automatically. Scale up or down based on the demand. Remember, it is not the same of a load balancer, and load balancer actually distribute the traffic amongst the instances which is already created. But auto scaling group actually is scaling the instances or increasing the number of instances according to the requirement or demand. But they work all together and create a magic of elasticity. That's why we experience the high availability and scalability for our application. Some of the popular video streaming platforms like Disney Hotstar, Netflix, Geo Cinema and Amazon Prime are based on auto scaling. So that's why there is hardly any lag when we watch any movies or TV show on these OTT platforms. And no matter the number of users increases or decreases. So we can say auto scaling group is a logical grouping of EC2 instances and its primary goal is to ensure the desired number of instances is always available to handle our application workload. When demand increases, the automatic scaling group dynamically add new instances, and when demand decreases, it scale down by removing the instances or without any manual intervention. Now let's see how we can set up auto scaling group and configure its scaling policies. So right now we are on EC2 dashboard. Our 3 instances are already created and our load balancer is also created. Now this time on our left side menu, there is an option of auto scaling in the way bottom of the menu. So click on the auto scaling group. As I already mentioned, an auto scaling actually helps to maintain the availability of our application by scaling and descaling the capacity of the instances, so that our application having the highest availability for our client. Now let us create our auto scaling group. So click on it. First of all, let us name it Demo ASG. Now currently we have no templates into this account. So let us create a new one. Click on create and launch template. This is similar to creating an instance. Name our instance Demo template. Put a description about your template. Let me put template for my app. Then there is a auto scaling guidance, which is good. It has already enabled. Let us go ahead. Now in the content, first option is to choose the application or operating system image which we want in our instance. So there are recent ones and quick start. Let me click on quick start and choose any of the operating system which I want to be on instance. So let me choose a Amazon Linux. Now in instance type, there are n number of options. So click on the drop down list and choose any of them. Let us choose T2 Micro, which is a free tier eligible. So for the practice, you should always choose free tier eligible. Now in key pair, this time let me choose one of the key pair which I already created. You can also create a new key pair, and your key pair is needed when you launch your instance manually with any other third-party application like Putty or MOBA Extreme, or you want to access your Linux instance with SSH protocol. Now in the network setting, either you can create a new security group or select any your existing security group. But make sure your existing security group must have the permission of SSH and HTTP, but only for the demo purpose. You can change according to your organizational requirement. Now let me choose one of our existing security group which is attached with our instances. Although our auto scaling group create new instances, but the permission is attached with a security group like SSH and HTTP. If you are a little bit confused, then you create a new security group and enable the option of SSH and HTTP. Now go to the storage. So storage is 8 GB, which is quite decent. And now click on advanced detail. Put the user data over there. I have my user data already. So let me paste it. That means I'm going to launch a Apache web server, and into that server there is an index file which actually show my host name. Now create launch template. it will take 1 or 2 minutes depend on the user data and other configuration. So we have successfully created a template. Now let's go back to our auto scaling group. Select the template. So there is just some kind of a description of our template and click on next. Next is the networking part. So VPC is default and choose all the subnets which are in our default VPC. This is because we do not want to restrict one of the subnet or availability zone to create the instance, but we actually allow that in any zone a system can be created. That's why choose all the subnets and zones. But it may possible in any of the zone T2 micro is not supported. For instance type requirement we have the option choose other templates and override the current one. So let us skip this and click on next. Now the next option is related to configuration, and this time there is a 3 option like create the auto scaling group without the load balancer or to attach an existing load balancer, and you can also create a new load balancer from there. So we have our already created a load balancer. So let us choose the second option. It means it's a little kind of a complexion because first of all our all traffic is divided into number of instances with the help of load balancer, and our auto scaling group will actually launch the new instance in case of users increase and remove automatically in case of users decline. So it's a kind of a auto scaling group work with your load balancer altogether. Now select the target group. So we have already created a target group, that is demo target group with HTTP protocol. So it means if any new instance created, it will automatically lies in that target group. Now in the health check, turn on the elastic load balancing health check, which is recommended because it actually monitor whether our instances are available to handle the request or not. And anytime when it report an unhealthy instance, a new instance will replace it after a health check. Let it put for 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. It means it actually monitor the instance for maximum 5 minutes for their health. And if it found unhealthy, then it will launch a new instance. Let us not put any additional setting about the CloudWatch and instance warm up and click on next. Now the group size of our instances, there are 3 kinds of parameter. One of is like desired capacity. It means what we actually want, how many instances are available all the time. But another parameter is the minimum capacity and maximum capacity. So our minimum capacity and desired capacity may be equal but not exceed from the maximum. So let us choose all our capacity to 1 and move ahead. So scaling policy is optional. We are not going to make more complex. So select none and click on next. We do not want to add any notification for the launching of instances. So click on next. Next again. And here we have our review document. So all the detailing about the group details, the networking, load balancing configuration and their health. It seems all is good. Click on create auto scaling group. Now our auto scaling group has been created and currently it is in updating the capacity or analyzing all the configuration. So it will take time. After launching the scaling group, if we found we forget something or we want to edit something, then go to the action. There is a 2 option of editing and deleting. So click on edit and check all your parameters and finally update it. Now the group is finally initialized and you can see the desired capacity is 1 and minimum and maximum is also 1. So 1 instance in our scaling group. We can also check it by clicking over it. Where are the details? And if we click on the activity, then we found our EC2 instance is launched successfully. And there are some other details related to the instance like description about the instances, their instance ID, start time and end time as well. Now let's go back to EC2 dashboard and check our instance. So right now it is in initializing way and we can rename it and check their other details also. Now go back to auto scaling group. This time let me edit some instance capacity. Click on edit. Let us put 3 in desired capacity, 2 in minimum and 3 in maximum capacity. So after some time, let us click on activity and you can see there is an option of failure because T2 macro is not supported in one of our availability zone. That is Asia Pacific 1C. That is why it failed. Now we have two options, like to unselect the Asia Pacific 1C in the auto scaling group after edit, or we can retry our request and this time not specifying any availability zone. In Asia Pacific C1 not supported the T2 macro, then it will automatically shift to the other zone. And let us edit some capacity also. So let it put our desired minimum and maximum is 2. Now go to the activity. And we can see our instance which was failed first time because of the availability zone error, and this time it is successfully launched in other zone. Let's go back to our EC2 dashboard and check their availability zone. Our all instances either create in Asia Pacific 1A or Asia Pacific 1B because 1C is not supported, the T2 macro, and we have select our instance type only to T2 macro. That's why it happened. So this is the procedure of create a auto scaling group and attach your ongoing load balancer. Either it is a application load balancer or network load balancer. You can go and explore other options also in your auto scaling group, different kinds of template, and practice with that. Along with that, AWS also provides some scaling plans based on our nature of application and software. We can set specific scaling policies based on metrics like CPU utilization, network traffic, or custom CloudWatch metrics. These scaling decisions are automatic, but we need to configure and define the policy, choosing the right scaling plan. It depends on the nature of our application and its expected traffic pattern. Like for highly dynamic workload and with unpredictable traffic, a manual scaling might be more suitable. And for those applications which are consistent and having the predictable traffic pattern, or if we prefer to more control over resources allocation, so no doubt dynamic scaling plan can save cost and improve performance by optimally utilization our resources. But it is essential to monitor our application behavior and fine-tune the scaling policy to achieve the desired results. So let's see where we can find the scaling policies option. So for the scaling plan, go to the search bar and type auto scaling group. Now click on it. So it actually helps to create our scaling group in a quicker format and easy to scale of our multiple resources like networking, computing, and other configuration in AWS. So get started. Now we have the three methods. If we have any CloudFormation stack or search by any tag or resource group, and finally we can choose EC2 auto scaling group. So neither we have any tag in CloudFormation or any group resource. So let us choose our ongoing EC2 auto scaling group, that is demo ASG, and click on next. Now the rest of the fields are self-explanatory, and put the name of your scaling plan. And we have 4 strategies for scaling, that is optimized for the availability, balance availability, and cost optimized for the cost, and custom is there. So let us choose optimize for availability and click on configuration details. Now we have the CPU utilization more than 40% in any of our instance, then it will be dynamically scale the instance. Click on next, next, and finally we have the review and create page. Over there are some details about the auto scaling group, and click on create the scaling plan. So this is quite very simple. How can we choose the scaling plan? And we can also customize it. So when you practice, explore each and every option of auto scaling group and scaling plans. So that's it for today. If you found this video is helpful to you, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And for more AWS tips and tutorials and real world example. If you have any question or ideas for future videos, then share them. Until next time, keep learning and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.